Welcome to English Talks, the podcast dedicated to honing your language skills. Let's get started with today's topic.
Welcome to today's deep dive into the money matrix.
So glad to be here to unpack this with you.
Yeah, we are on a mission today for you, the listener, to kind of bypass all the abstract math of global finance, right? We want to decode the true, psychological and structural forces that actually define value.
Exactly. Because it's really not just numbers on a screen.
No, it's not. Okay, so let's unpack this. If you trace money back to its primitive roots in ancient Sumer, around 3500 BCE, it's wild. Humanity didn't invent cash. We actually invented debt.
Right. Credit systems existed way before any kind of physical coin.
Yeah. And take the rice stones of the island of Yap. I mean, these were massive 12-foot limestone discs. You couldn't exactly, hand them over at a checkout counter.
No, you need a forklift for that.
Right. So instead, the community just kept a shared oral history of who owned which stone. One of them even sank to the bottom of the sea, and everyone just agreed, yep, it's down there, the ledger remains intact.
Wait, so is this basically an ancient blockchain?
Well, is money literally just a shared illusion we all agree to?
What's fascinating here is that, money has always been a social technology. I mean, it's a decentralized network of trust rather than just a physical object.
Wow, okay.
Even a rock at the bottom of the ocean holds purchasing power if the community, collectively believes it does. The physical coin or paper is really just a prop to keep score.
Right, okay, so if the physical object is just a prop and money relies entirely on human belief, then mastering wealth has to be more about mastering our own psychology.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
The mechanics of finance matter far less than your emotional regulation. And you can see this play out perfectly in the real world. I mean, have you ever heard of Ronald Reed?
The janitor, right.
Yeah, exactly.
This story blows my mind. So here's a guy who swept floors, lived a really quiet, simple life, and just patiently let compounding interest do the heavy lifting for decades. And he amassed, $8 million?
Yep, 8 million.
And contrast that with Richard Foscone. I mean, Foscone had the Harvard degree, the executive pedigree at Merrill Lynch, the massive mansion.
And he went completely bankrupt.
Right, purely because his ego drove him to over-leverage everything he had.
It completely shatters the assumption that financial intelligence equals raw intellect. Wealth is heavily dependent on impulse control. Because, we naturally want to signal our status to the tribe.
Oh, for sure.
You buy a luxury car thinking it commands respect. But think about the man in the car paradox. When you see a high-end sports car drive by, you don't actually admire the driver.
No, you just picture yourself in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
People are admiring the car, completely ignoring the person driving it. True wealth, then, is actually what you don't see. It's the unspent assets, the untouched investments.
Right. But individual behavior is only really half the story.
Wait, if building wealth is mostly just about staying humble and controlling our impulses, why does the game feel so rigged for the average person? There has to be more to it than just don't buy a flashy car.
Well, yeah. If we zoom out, the system itself is structurally designed to exploit human behavior on a massive scale. Let's look at the Cantillon effect from our sources.
Okay.
When new money is printed by a central bank, it doesn't just, magically appear in everyone's wallet at the exact same time.
Right, the banks and institutions get it first, but how does that actually hurt the average person's wallet?
Okay, imagine you're at the front of a line for a concert, and you get to buy VIP tickets at face value.
Okay, nice.
Financial institutions and massive corporations are at the front of the line when new money is created. They get to buy up assets before prices rise.
Ah, I see.
By the time that money filters down to the back of the bottom 99%, the only tickets left are being scalped for triple the price.
Oh, wow. So that price hike is inflation.
Exactly. It acts as a silent thief.
And when that thief runs rampant, it gets terrifying. Look at Zimbabwe in 2008. Hyperinflation hit an absurd 35 quadrillion local dollars to one single US dollar.
Yeah, it's unimaginable. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this Cantillon mechanism structurally engineers modern wealth inequality.
Right.
The top accumulates assets early, while everyone else basically pays a hidden inflation tax.
Yeah.
Add in regulatory capture.
Where massive industries practically write the rules that are supposed to govern them, yeah.
Exactly. And the deck just gets stacked heavily against the average earner.
Yeah.
We aren't endorsing any specific political view here, but it's clear the structure plays a huge role.
Right. But here's where it gets really interesting. when you step back from all the noise, like the FIRE movement's strict rules of saving aggressively so you can retire on just 4% of your wealth, or the, like the complex plumbing of fractional reserve banking, you start to realize the end goal isn't actually just hoarding cash.
No, and the data backs that up. The Easterlin paradox shows us that happiness relies on relative wealth, not absolute wealth.
Okay, so keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, once your basic needs are met, acquiring more stuff doesn't automatically make you happier than your neighbor. Furthermore, if you look at the Harvard study of adult development,
That's the longest study of human happiness ever conducted, right?
yep, it proves strong relationships are the ultimate return on investment. They reliably outpredict income when it comes to living a long, fulfilling life.
Which raises an important question for you, the listener. Like, what is all this financial independence actually for? It doesn't buy status, as we saw with the man in the car. It buys time. It buys autonomy.
Yeah, time to spend with the community that actually matters to you.
Exactly. Which brings us to a final provocative thought for you to explore on your own. There's this 1997 thesis called The Sovereign Individual.
Oh, that's a fascinating one.
Yeah, it predicts that digital currencies will soon allow us to live completely untethered from nation states, right? Taking our invisible wealth wherever we want, totally free from local taxes. But if we actually reach that fully decentralized, borderless future, how will our fundamentally human need for close physical relationships survive?
That is the ultimate question.
Right, because even if your money is just an invisible ledger at the bottom of the sea, it only really works if there's a real community standing on the shore talking to each other.
You know, there's this universal feeling we all have when we lock our front door at night.
Oh, absolutely. The deadbolt clicks.
Right, the click. It's supposed to be the ultimate boundary. Like, outside is the unpredictable world, but inside is, your safe haven.
Yeah, the architecture of a home is practically designed to keep threats out, both physically and psychologically. It's a binary system, safe or unsafe.
But what happens when you lock that door and, well, the threat is actually already inside? Welcome to your custom deep dive.
Today our sources center on a forensic analysis of the 1922 Hinterkaifeck massacre.
Yeah, our mission is to explore the facts of this legendary unsolved German cold case and understand why it remains this chilling masterpiece of real-life horror for you to learn from.
It's a fascinating study in vulnerability.
It really is. So picture this remote, L-shaped Bavarian farmstead, totally surrounded by dense woods. Inside are 6 victims, ranging from 63-year-old Andreas Gruber down to 2-year-old Joseph. Okay, let's unpack this, because to understand their extreme vulnerability, we really have to look at the family's dark domestic dynamics.
Well, the physical isolation of the farm was honestly nothing compared to their social exile. I mean, there were these widely known rumors of incest between Andreas and his daughter, Victoria.
Right, which was a massive deal.
Oh, exactly. Because of this extreme stigma, they basically severed ties with their own community. They built this fortress of secrecy around themselves.
So it's almost like a submarine, right?
Yeah.
The pressure from the outside community was so intense that they sealed all the hatches, but they ended up locking themselves in with a leak.
That is a perfect analogy.
Because, look at the horrific 6-month prelude to the murders. Their first maid quits in absolute terror, claiming she heard footsteps in the attic.
She constantly felt like she was being watched.
And then, right before the massacre, this unexplained Munich newspaper appears. House keys vanish. And Andreas actually finds footprints in the fresh snow leading directly to the machine room.
But never walking away.
Right, never walking away. It's the classic, the call is coming from inside the house, horror trope. Like, why wouldn't a family immediately flee or just go to the police after seeing one-way footprints?
What's fascinating here is that when you are the town pariahs harboring dark secrets, the authorities are the very last people you want investigating your property.
Ah, so they just kept quiet.
Yeah, they chose a paranoid resilience over exposure, and that silence gave the killer a terrifyingly long stalking phase. This wasn't, some opportunist breaking in. This was a patient predator conducting meticulous reconnaissance from the shadows of their own home.
Just living right above them.
Yeah.
And that patience led to a highly calculated execution on March 31.
Yeah, the killer used a heady mattock, which is a farming tool used for digging and chopping.
To systematically murder the entire family. And the details are just brutal. Like 7-year-old Cecilia actually survived in the barn for hours after the attack.
She was literally tearing her own hair out in shock.
It's so awful, but here's where it gets really interesting. You'd expect a slaughter that extreme to end with the killer sprinting into the woods in an absolute panic.
You really would. But the forensic evidence tells a totally different much colder story.
Yeah.
The killer stayed on the farm for over 3 days.
Wait, 3 whole days?
Yes. They fed the cattle, ate the family's entire supply of bread, and even lit the oven.
Sending smoke right out the chimney for passersby to see.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this indicates profound psychological detachment. The perpetrator didn't just want to destroy the family.
They desired to literally occupy the farm.
Right, they were stepping into the role of the household head.
But occupying a crime scene for days leaves massive physical clues. I mean, before the Munich police even arrived, dozens of villagers wandered the scene.
Well, it was a disaster.
They moved bodies and actually cooked meals in the exact same kitchen. Was the concept of crime scene preservation just non-existent in rural 1920s Bavaria?
It simply wasn't a concept for the general public back then. Their morbid curiosity entirely overrode any basic common sense.
So the scene was ruined.
The forensic contamination was absolute. The police were so desperate they actually sent the victims' severed heads to clairvoyants to try and solve it.
Oh wow, clairvoyance.
Yeah, and naturally suspicion fell on neighbors, particularly a man named Lorenz Schlittenbauer, who had a really complex romantic history with Victoria.
And he was the one who led the search party that found the bodies, right?
He did, and witnesses noted how nonchalant he was. He was navigating locked doors as if he knew exactly how to bypass them.
Wait, if he navigated locked doors nonchalantly, showed zero emotion finding the bodies, and had a known messy romantic history with the victim, how on earth did the police fail to make a case against him?
Simply because the villagers had destroyed the physical scene. It made a legal conviction impossible at the time.
That is so frustrating.
But fast forward to 2007, a German police academy reviewed the surviving files. By stripping away the ruined physical evidence and focusing purely on victimology and behavioral profiling, they matched the killer's post-offense psychology to the suspects.
Oh, interesting.
And they actually unanimously identified the killer.
Wait, really? They solved it?
They did. But due to German privacy and ethical regulations, they sealed the name to protect the suspect's living descendants.
I cannot believe that. So what does this all mean? I think the real takeaway for you here is that true horror isn't found in monsters or cryptids. It's found in domestic violation.
Yeah, the terrifying reality of a patient predator living right above you.
Exactly. It shatters that binary illusion of safety we talked about at the start.
Completely.
And it leaves you with this provocative thought. If modern authorities actually solved this century-old mystery in 2007, does the ethical duty to protect a killer's living descendants outweigh the historical right to truth for those 6 victims? Next time you hear that deadbolt click, ask yourself, what secrets are we protecting and who is really locked inside?